4. Do tongues make someone more spiritual? Absolutely not. In fact, catch this, we can't miss this. This is practically Paul's main point. Right? That's his entire correction and rebuke of the Corinthians as they were seeking the singular gift to exaltation and the frenzy of the gatherings without interpretation, the personal, ecstatic experience, and so forth and so on. And Paul's saying, hey, this is not the mark of spirituality. Rather, love is. And what you're doing is not building up the body. So he corrects them. It's practically Paul's main point. Do tongues make someone more spiritual? No. So hear this clearly. If you speak in tongues and wear it as a badge of spirituality, consider yourself pulled over. Okay? Whoop, whoop. Now, likewise, if you deny the legitimacy of speaking in tongues and wear that as a badge of spirituality, consider yourself pulled over. Whoop, whoop. Okay, the point is that the gifts are not about wearing a badge of what makes us more spiritual, more mature. Quite the opposite. Paul puts an entire chapter 13, to say love is what makes you spiritual and mature. Fruit over gifts. In fact, as I've studied this and I have deeply enjoyed this opportunity to study and preach these chapters and really more teach these issues and chapters, explore these with you, I've come again to the distinct conclusion, and here's an early word of application for you. This isn't in the notes, but you should write this down. Develop the character that can be trusted with the charismata. Develop character that can be trusted with charisma, with gifts. Ships with cannons. We don't want rubber rafts with 500-pound cannons going off, blowing things up, and making a mess. Neither do we want large vessels on the water and squirt guns. Ships with cannons, character over fruit. This does not make anyone more spiritual. It's a gift. It's not a mark of spirituality or wisdom or maturity. I would argue I'm the most immature of the elders, by the way. So I think that would stand at least as far as within this crazy bunch. Furthermore, I think it is possible to pray in the Spirit without praying in tongues. So I don't think that's synonymous language. It comes up elsewhere in the New Testament. Ephesians chapter 6, Jude verse 20. Okay, this idea of praying in the Spirit. It's possible to pray in the Spirit without praying in tongues, in that praying in the Spirit can be prayer in tongues, I believe. Again, from our text. However, it can also be prayer that is in line with the character and desires of the Holy Spirit. It can involve deep emotion, longings, groanings, sighing. Have you ever been at the end of your words in prayer? So burdened or desperate or... What's amazing is that all of that wordless desire, wordless groaning and sighing can be made effective, intelligible prayer to God by the Holy Spirit. Romans chapter 8, verse 26. In our weakness, we don't know what to pray as we ought, and the Spirit helps us with words and groanings and longings too deep for words. And friends, if you've never encountered need at that level, you're just not living honest. Or if you've never encountered desire on that level, friends, I feel sorry for you. There is intimacy with God in prayer that spans the full scope of intellectual and emotional expression, with Bibles open, on our knees, praying fervently, seeking the Lord, experiencing need, experiencing desperation and desire. Not that we would need a constant spiritual high or state of adrenaline. No, by no means. That is not in and of itself anything close to a mark of maturity. Sometimes it's quite the opposite. And yet the command stands, love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your mind and all your soul and all your strength. And the Spirit can take all of that longing and make it intelligible to God. Isn't that wonderful? All of us are to pray in the Spirit in that way, in line with the character and desires of the Spirit. It can be tongues, and it doesn't have to be.